or thank each one of my deputies that showed up. They have worked tirelessly on this case ever since it happened to make sure that we do a good job. They've investigated this meticulously, diligently, and we've looked at every piece of evidence. We've talked to witnesses, we've interviewed family members, and as you all know, we have ultimately made an arrest in this case. This office under this administration will investigate all crimes thoroughly and without bias. Like every other jurisdiction in the country, we too have seen burglaries. We have an increased numbers of burglaries happening in Wagoner County. Wagoner County Sheriff's Office has tried to combat that by increasing the number of deputies on the street, and we're working diligently with other law enforcement agencies and the community to try to thwart these burglaries. On Monday, March 27th at 12:44 p.m., the Wagoner County 911 Center received a call or a report of a shooting at the 9100 block Clearview Drive, which is located inside of Wagoner County. The caller, Mr. Zach Peters, reported that 3 men had just broken into his house and that he had shot them. My deputies arrived on scene 4 minutes after we received the 911 call, and we discovered one person deceased in the driveway and 2 others deceased inside the house. All 3 of these suspects were wearing masks, hoodies, and gloves. Further investigation revealed that 2 of the suspects were armed. One of the suspects was armed with a set of brass knuckles, and the other suspect was armed with a fixed blade knife. The suspects in this home invasion were later identified as Jacob Lynn Redford, 18 years of age, of Collinsville, Jacob Cameron Woodruff of Owasso, and Maxwell Scott Cook, 18 years of age, of Collinsville. All 3 of them were pronounced deceased at the scene. We also further investigated and found out that Elizabeth Rodriguez, 23 years of age, of Collinsville, was later arrested after she went to Broken Arrow Police Department where she gave information about this incident. Throughout our investigation, the Wagoner County Sheriff's officers, investigators, discovered that Elizabeth Rodriguez was the ones that transported the 3 home invasion suspects to the residence. It was also discovered that the suspects, with the assistance of Rodriguez, had earlier burglarized the garage apartment of the Peters home earlier that morning. This was before they returned to burglarize it yet a second time. We do know at this time that Rodriguez had some indirect knowledge of the Peters home, and she believed that there were expensive items inside the house. The source of this information we're not going to release at this time for investigative purposes. Rodriguez was arrested on a probable cause charge on that day for first-degree burglary and 3 counts of first-degree murder. And I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mr. Jack Thorpe. He is the first Assistant District Attorney to District 27 of Wagoner County, and he will talk to you about the charges that we filed on Ms. Rodriguez. Mr. Thorpe.
Thank you. On April the 3rd, 2017, the District Attorney for District 27, State of Oklahoma, filed a felony information formally charging Elizabeth Rodriguez with 3 counts of murder in the first degree, felony murder for the deaths of Maxwell Cook, Jacob Woodruff, and Jacob Redfern. These deaths are alleged to have occurred as a result of a burglary in the first degree that occurred in Wagoner County, Oklahoma on March 27, 2017. Rodriguez faces additional counts for burglary first degree and burglary second degree for her alleged role in this matter. Our condolences are extended to the families of Maxwell Cook, Jacob Woodruff, and Jacob Redfern. The investigation into the burglary of the Peters home and the subsequent use of deadly force by Zachary Peters has been analyzed in accordance with 21 Oklahoma Statute 1289.25. It is the opinion of this office that Zachary Peters acted justifiably and in accordance with his rights as an Oklahoma citizen when he used deadly force to defend his home from the first-degree burglary perpetrated by Maxwell Cook, Jacob Woodruff, and Jacob Redfern, and allegedly Elizabeth Rodriguez. The official letter declining charges will be turned over. Ms. Rodriguez remains in the custody of the Wagoner County Jail from her arrest for this matter on March 27, 2017. Her initial appearance has been set for April the 5th, 2017, before Wagoner County Associate District Judge Dennis Shook. At this time, Ms. Rodriguez is being held with no bond. An information is the formal method of charging a defendant with a crime in Oklahoma. It is merely an accusation. A copy of the information will be turned over to you. Ms. Rodriguez is presumed innocent of the crimes contained within this information, and the presumption will remain throughout the judicial process until and if a jury or a fact-finding judge finds that the state of Oklahoma has proven her guilt by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The District 27 District Attorney's Office would like to commend Sheriff Chris Elliott and his deputies and investigators for their prompt and thorough investigation in this matter. We would also like to commend the excellent work of the Wagoner County 911 team. District 27 is
Hearing from the
composed of
Wagoner County
Kader,
District
Cherokee,
Attorney's Office, they are announcing Elizabeth Rodriguez, the alleged getaway driver in this burglary that resulted in the deaths of Max Cook, Jacob Woodruff, and Jacob Redfern. Elizabeth Rodriguez will be charged with 3 counts of felony first-degree murder, first-degree burglary and second-degree burglary, and Zach Peters, the person who shot those 3, and all 3 of them died. He, according to the DA, that was justifiable. He was defending himself. We will have more tonight at 5 and 6.